Hi guys, this is Tin Goose, and I have a problem, and my problem is I can't be trusted when it comes to setting up a new fish tank. So I've kind of done it again. I was going to do a simple 15-gallon quarantine tank, but I got to building the stand for it, and if you guys haven't seen that, I'll link the video down below. So I built a custom stand for this. As I built the stand out, I figured I might as well build something and just leave set up all the time. Well, I'm not going to plan to have fish in here on a regular basis. I can grow out plants in here. I can grow out fry in here. Just use it for any other purposes that I might need. So because of that, it's not going to be a run-of-the-mill quarantine tank that's just a glass bottom, sponge filter, and that you just set up for 2-3 weeks and then break right back down. This one's going to be set up full time. My other problem is I have this dog who likes to run through the camera all the time. So with the setup, I'm going to be doing an eco-complete substrate. I've used those in my other tanks. I like it. It works really well. Just some basic decor. I'll probably put a few plants in here from my other, that I have grown out from the other tanks. I'm using this Phoenix Stingray LED light. I've used one before. I find it gives off a pretty good spectrum for the price. It's a very affordable light out there. Nice sleek profile, and it gives off a nice spectrum. They'll grow some low light plants. You're not going to grow your highlight stuff, but things like Java Fern, Wisteria, Nubius will do just fine with this. A high door heater. I've always had to go with my high door product, so got a high door heater for this, and an AA green killing machine, UV sterilizer. So if you guys seen some other videos, I've done a review on the 24-watt UV sterilizer on my 75-gallon tank, and while it's big and bulky, I think it does a great job. I haven't had an algae bloom problem ever since putting that thing in there, so I'm pretty happy with how it's running. I've seen some reviews online that this one can clog up in the intake a little bit. I think the other two sizes, the 9-watt and 24-watt, have made a better intake with the sponge filter, and this one doesn't have. But we'll see how this goes. In addition to killing algae, it'll be great for quarantine fish. It'll kill some of the microorganisms that you don't want or trying to quarantine for. Additionally, when I add fish, I figure I'll use something like Sea Chem Paragard. Not for the initial setup, but once I start adding fish, I'll use this. And my plan is, if you've seen the 75-gallon tank, it's been about 6-7 weeks since I've added fish to there. When I added the initial fish to that tank, I got some great selections I like. Unfortunately, one of the rainbows I put in there was pretty sick. Within 2 days died, and within 2 weeks after that, I lost another 4 fish. Now, fortunately, I haven't lost anything since. The tank's stable, everyone's doing fine, and so that's why I'm doing a quarantine tank. Anything I get from the fish store from now on is going to go in here. 3 weeks, they do well enough, I'll transfer them over to the 75-gallon tank. Filtration, just doing an AquaClear 20, it's made by Hagen. For those of you guys out there that run a fluval edge, it's the exact same filter you have in that, it's just a different label. So it's also a great backup. So if I have no fish in here, if I have this running and I lose my filter on the edge, I can just go pop this off, put it on there, bam, I got the filtration I need. I can just throw an air stone in here to keep the plants alive, and then next day go get a filter for this and not have to worry about fish. So I figure it's good to have some interchangeable products in the house that I can swap out. So that'll be the setup. You guys hang tight, and I will go ahead and start pulling all this together with the stand and see what you think. So before we set this up, we're going to talk a little bit about the background. For this background, I'm going to paint on the glass, just a simple flat black with some sponge rollers I got. So all the supplies for this were, like $8 to put all this together. I'm really a fan of painting the back. On the 75-gallon, I actually, tried the Clearview or the Sea Clear applicator with a black background, and I've really regretted that decision. It just doesn't, it adhered well for about 3 months and just slowly starts peeling away, and it's kind of a pain to maintain. I really wish I would just painted it and been done with it. In fact, with those 75-gallon clear for life, so you can actually just buy it with a solid black background, and I kind of wish I just would have did that versus getting a clear background. But for this one, so pretty straightforward. It's probably going to take at least 2 coats, maybe 3. Show you the finished project. So yeah, just got some painter's tape that I had around the house, taped off the back, and just going to go ahead and roll this on. Okay, the first coat has been applied. I did not mention it before, but I'm using a water-based acrylic enamel to paint this on, and a sponge roller, because that will make it apply a little more evenly and not smear as you apply it. So looking at it, it's going to take 3 coats. I was thinking maybe 2, but definitely, if you have any doubts, add the extra coat, because you want to make sure you completely black that out, or whatever color you're using, to get completely solid color throughout. So yeah, come along great. I'll show you the final project in a moment. So as you can see here, I have a little bit of a problem with my new AquaClear filter. You know, this is the 3rd Hagen product I bought, and only 1 of the 3 has actually worked out of the box. So I don't know what's wrong with this manufacturer, but they really have a problem here, in that 2 out of 3 products I bought from them have just not gone through any sort of QA. And I don't know if I can see this, but there's a nice hole that's just right there in this, that will just keep it from priming. It's just sucking air through this elbow for the filter. So again, I'm not really sure what's going on at Hagen. It seems like they have nice products there. That's a good shot of the hole. It's not a crack, not anything else. It's just a hole in the plastic. It's just something that's not passing QA. If you guys recall, my Fluval 406 canister filter made by Hagen had an issue with the impeller cover. Just wouldn't sit inside it, so I had to get a new one. The new one worked fine, and I'll get a replacement elbow, work fine, but I just don't know what's going on with them in their QA. It's clearly subpar. I'm kind of done with Hagen products at this point. I don't really think I'm going to be buying any more in the future. It just seems like kind of a waste of my time if this is the kind of stuff they're really going to be putting out there to the public. So I don't know if anyone else had any kind of experience with them better than mine. Let me know if you're having similar issues, what you guys think, what your other products you like. Do you like Eheim? Do you like Hydor? What are the products you guys use? Seems like a lot of guys out there like Eheim and Hydor. I'm thinking of making that switch going forward for my filtration. I won't be using anything Fluval ever again. So yeah, kind of a bummer. As I'm setting this up, I'm just going to try to silicone or glue that tight while I wait for a replacement one. But yeah, just another QA issue. So there it is. So we're going to fast forward a week and a half here. I apologize, I didn't do a setup video of this. I got really busy and kind of rushed and did a setup, but as you can see, I did a kind of basic aquascape in here. I know it is a quarantine tank, but I figure why not? It can look good, and when there's no fish in here, I'll have some nice plants. So it cycled for a week. I've now just added fish actually yesterday. I'm going to quarantine here for 2 to 3 weeks before I add them into my 75. As you can see, it's a turquoise rainbow, actually a male and a female, a few cories, and a few cherry barbs that will be quarantined here. I'm using Paragard with the quarantine process just in case, because all these fish came from a fish store that was on a single column sump system, 6 tanks per sump. So you just never know when you have such a large filtration setup and what's going to come with those fish. So I'd rather treat them, but everyone looks good so far. So you can see the setup. There's a AA green killing machine, UV sterilizer, my heater, sponge filter with the AquaClear 20. So at least Hagen has responded and is sending a new what do you call it, this siphon tube, the U tube on the top. But as you can see, I've used a lot of duct tape just so I can stop up the hole, but it doesn't do a great job. It still actually is leaking a bit of water and letting air into the filter, but hopefully in the next day or two I'll finally have the new U tube in there. I do like these AquaClear setups. I love being able to just control exactly what media I use and not have to rely on a cartridge. So the overall concept behind it's good. I think just Hagen's got to work a little bit in her quality control, and hopefully that'll get better. So yeah, here's the tank. Like, subscribe, ask any questions. I'll be happy to answer. That's all for now. I'm out, guys.